And then there's also a request in AI to have it be able to do more like kind of requery stuff. And this is still very raw, and you can tell I had to really be like, no, use this specific parameter. And again, I don't know whether that's because my prompt engineering bad or because like it doesn't actually need to do this complicated thing to answer this simple question. Um, but again, yeah, literally just got this prompt right like a minute ago. So we'll see if it gets it right this time. But yeah, like the idea is that it can run this query and then using this query, kind of generate a second query saying like, hey, generate a query this user's in the user's topic. Okay, it says it thinks it did it. I think it did it. Yeah. So look, it it ran this first query. It did country and average age. Then it ran the second query, and you can actually see, right? It's from the user's topic, but it's got this thing here, this average age by country. Like this is not a thing in my model. It made this on the fly, shoved it in a query model, and then made this query with it. So that proves that it works. That you had from this like
Genius.
very nasty non-real user prompt. I had to give it TBD on whether it will actually trigger this in the wild and do the right thing when it needs to. When it needs to. So we'll see.
Quick question, Stephen. You mentioned this works on chat, this and XLOOKUP on chat. What is the behavior on the workbook AI?
In work, so there's nothing's. So yeah, that's a good question. This in theory should just work. I think.
What's it actually doing with Requery? Like what's happening behind the scenes?
It is every query now optionally, but I think it will pretty much do it always. When it generates a query, it gives it a little name, which is just like a little internal identifier. So this query under the hood has some little name that was generated as part of it. Um, the over here, um, when it generates the query and it calls the tool to generate the query in the topic, there's in the user's topic, but requery on the query name, whatever this name was internally. Uh, and then the tool implementation in Omni creates a query model, um, adds this query view, basically does the equivalent of the workbook, like create query view in that query model just here, and then generates the query in the context of that query model, basically tricks the AI to say like this is in the topic now, generate it as though this was a normal thing in the topic, and it generates it just in that query. And I think if you go in here, I think I made this work and nothing really weird happens, but something really weird might happen.
Since it's in the query model, is that actually Ernesto asked this in the chat? Does Blobby do CTEs?
Yeah, CT. I mean, this.
That's the
I mean, I can't
correct
guarantee
question.
that workbook isn't going to be weird. Also, like I said, I rebooted my server, and Veet is having a really hard time coming back from vacation. So this is my first time loading the workbook. Uh, yeah, right. So there it is, the CTE.
Ah,
Right. So that's what's happening under
very
the hood.
cool.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Uh,
And then, sorry, while you're here, XLOOKUP on workbook, will Blobby do an X? Because I don't recall if we let it open multiple tabs on its own.
it will not yet do the full open tab on own thing. It's possible that I can't remember exactly what I told it last week, whether I told it not to do this XLOOKUP thing in the
Stephen
workbook at
having
all.
conversations with Blobby. I'm picturing you at your desk having back and
Yeah, but that's how I think of it now. Yeah, I can't remember whether it does, whether it avoids doing this entirely on the workbook or whether it will do it and it's just a little weird. It definitely, I think it's no. Okay, yes. When generating calcs in workbook, it doesn't do this. It will pass in the other tabs as available to make
okay.
this, which it already does.
Yep.
It did improve this. That previously, when it passes in the other tabs, it didn't bother to tell it which fields map to which Excel columns. So you basically had to be like, do an X lookup for column A from the, other query,
Mhm.
which people weren't going to do. Now you should be able to be like, pull in average from the other tab. But yes,
We
as the
should,
way this is right now, it won't do this for you on chat. We would have to basically on the workbook. Sorry, it won't do it on the workbook. We'd have to allow a new tab on the workbook and basically tell it, hey, if you want to do an X lookup on a query that doesn't exist, make a new tab, use that tool, and then the X lookup on it.
Cool, got it. Thanks for explaining. We should definitely chat later about like, I know opening new tabs is a new thing on the workbook. We should definitely talk about it. I know there's some use cases. We have certain customers that would be very, very excited.
Oh yeah, no, we should definitely do that. We'll
Yeah,
do it. Just probably not
yeah.
as the first cut of this. Yeah,
Very cool. Thanks for answering my questions.
sure thing. The second